town of Seffner, Florida, near Tampa, where last night the earth opened up as it does increasingly. Town of Seffner, Florida, and
of unusual events unfolding across the United States. In California and
being a tree, especially after years of drought.
Beetles have destroyed tens of millions of trees.
What if the ground under our feet is trying to tell us something? What if the earth itself is issuing one last warning? You've probably felt it. A sense of unease, a feeling that the world we thought we knew is becoming unpredictable, even dangerous. In the last few years, from the sun-baked ground of Florida to the fire-scorched hills of California, the land has started to fail. It's cracking, splitting, and collapsing without warning, uncovering things that were meant to stay buried forever. Most people will tell you it's just a string of accidents, isolated incidents, nothing more than geology and bad weather. But what if they're wrong? What if these aren't random events? What if they're signs, lining up perfectly with ancient prophecies that speak of a final warning for humanity? What we're seeing isn't a coincidence, it's a convergence, and it starts in a place where the ground has always been shaky, a place that's now the center of a much bigger and far more unsettling story. Florida has always been sinkhole country. For generations, people there have known that the ground they build their lives on is really just a thin crust over a foundation of porous, water-soluble limestone. Geologists call it karst terrain. It's a landscape riddled with hidden caves and voids, a secret world underground that sometimes makes its presence known with terrifying force. But what's happening now feels different. The frequency and the scale of these collapses suggests something new is going on, something deeply unsettling. Take, for example, a road collapse in Pasco County in early 2024, where a massive hole suddenly opened up, forcing emergency crews to shut down a key thoroughfare. Or look at Ocala, where in September 2023, the ground gave way beneath a hotel, causing a partial collapse and forcing an immediate evacuation. This isn't just happening in empty fields, it's happening where people live and work. And the pattern just keeps going. In late 2023, residents near Alligator Lake in Lake County watched as a giant sinkhole, triggered by drought conditions, literally began draining the lake, creating a massive, swirling vortex. Just months before, another sinkhole in the same county threatened an elementary school, a stark reminder of the instability lurking just beneath the surface. This isn't just a string of bad luck, it's a pattern. The acidic rain, the constant pumping of groundwater for development, the unstable geology. Those are the scientific reasons, sure, but they don't answer the deeper question. Why does it feel like it's accelerating now? Florida, resting on its fragile limestone bed, has become a warning for a much larger problem. The very ground is getting weak, and that weakness is spreading. The problem has become so serious that it has the attention of the highest levels of government. State and federal agencies, like the U.S. Geological Survey, are now directed to study the causes of sinkholes and develop detailed maps of high-risk zones. When the government is forced to admit that the ground is no longer behaving as expected, you know something is wrong. The foundation is cracking, and the events in Florida are just the first tremors. That feeling of unease spreading across Florida isn't staying in one state. While the ground was opening up in the southeast, a different kind of collapse was picking up speed on the other side of the country. This isn't just a sinkhole problem, it's an American problem. The pattern stretches from coast to coast, a synchronized failure of the very land we call home. Out in California, the Earth isn't just swallowing itself, it's sliding into chaos. The state has been trapped in a brutal cycle of drought and wildfire for years. These fires bake the soil, killing vegetation and creating a slick, waxy surface that repels water. So when the rains finally do come, they're not a blessing, they're a trigger. Powerful atmospheric rivers now dump torrents of water on these burn scars, and the result is catastrophic. Debris flows. These aren't just mudslides. One hydrologist called them a flood on steroids. They are fast-moving waves of mud, rock, and wreckage that hit with the force of liquid concrete, wiping out cars, trees, and entire homes. In recent winters, powerful storms have brought devastating floods and mudslides to Southern California. If this content blesses you and you'd like to support our mission, you can buy me a coffee or give a super thanks. Every contribution helps us create more content to inspire and uplift others. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on my future videos. Have turned into rivers of mud, burying cars and homes. Evacuation warnings have become a regular occurrence for thousands of residents as the earth, scarred by fire, finally gives way. Forecasters issue dire warnings of life-threatening flash flooding because the danger is so real. This is the new normal. The ground is unstable. The foundations are shot. But the signs aren't just in these dramatic collapses. You can also see it in the silent death of our most ancient guardians. In the Sierra Nevada, the giant sequoias, trees that have stood for thousands of years as symbols of strength and permanence, are now dying at a shocking rate. For centuries, they lived in balance with the native bark beetle. But a new combination of hotter droughts and intense wildfire damage has shattered their natural defenses. The beetles, once a small pest, are now delivering the final blow. They are killing these 3,000-year-old giants in as little as 18 months. In just the last few years, a deadly combination of fire and infestation has wiped out nearly 20% of the world's entire population of mature giant sequoias. The very symbols of eternity are falling, and their deaths are a quiet, ominous sign that the world is out of balance. From the collapsing ground of Florida to the sliding hills of California and the dying forests of the Sierra, the message is the same. The earth is groaning. It's showing signs of incredible stress. These are not just isolated incidents driven by local weather. They feel like connected symptoms of a planet in distress. And when the land itself starts to cry out, you have to ask, is this random or is it a warning? For thousands of years, ancient texts have described a time when the world would go through a period of unmatched chaos, a time of birth pains, where the earth itself would signal a great and final change. These aren't vague, mystical fortunes. They are specific prophecies that seem to describe the very things we are now witnessing. What modern science calls geology, the Bible called a sign. What we see as a crisis, the prophets saw as a prelude. In the book of Matthew, chapter 24, Jesus' disciples ask him what the signs of the end of the age will be. He answers, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. Nation will rise against nation, and there will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are but the beginning of the birth pains." For centuries, people read earthquakes and thought only of tectonic plates shifting. But the original Greek word is seismos, which is where we get seismology. It means any violent shaking or agitation of the ground. The sinkholes tearing Florida apart are a form of seismos. The landslides wiping out parts of California are a form of seismos. The very ground is being violently shaken in different places. This isn't a metaphor. It feels like a literal description of what's unfolding right before our eyes. The Bible talks again and again about the earth opening up as a sign of great upheaval. In the book of Numbers, during a rebellion, the scripture says, "The ground under them split apart, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, and the earth closed over them." In the book of Revelation, it says, "The earth helped the woman, and the earth opened its mouth and swallowed up the river which the dragon had poured out." These ancient texts show the earth as an active player in divine events. So when we see the ground in Florida literally opening its mouth and swallowing land, it's hard not to see a modern echo of that ancient, powerful imagery. But the signs aren't limited to the ground. The prophecies extend to the water. Revelation speaks of the great river Euphrates drying up to prepare the way for the kings from the east. Today we are watching a dramatic and deeply symbolic parallel. The Colorado River, the lifeblood of the American West, is in a historic crisis. Thanks to overuse and a mega drought, its massive reservoirs, Lake Mead and Lake Powell, have dropped to dangerously low levels. This threatens the water supply for 40 million people, and officials warn that future projections are grim, putting hydropower production at risk. While it isn't the Euphrates, the sight of a mighty river essential to a nation's survival, dwindling away is a powerful and sobering sign. The prophecies spoke of the natural world in distress. The death of the giant sequoias, the ancient kings of the forest, rings with passages like Joel 1:12. The vine has dried up, and the fig tree has withered. All the trees of the field are dried up. Surely the joy of mankind is withered away. The signs aren't isolated. They're a chorus. The earth is cracking, the waters are shrinking, the ancient trees are falling. Seen together, these events form a coherent and terrifying picture. They don't feel like random accidents. They feel like the synchronized signs the ancient prophecies warned us about. The question isn't whether the signs are here. The question is, are we paying attention? So you've seen the evidence. The ground opening up in Florida, the hillsides collapsing in California, the oldest trees in the world dying off, the great rivers that give us life starting to fail. You can choose to see these as separate events, a string of unfortunate but unrelated crises. You can listen to the simple explanations of geology and weather and ignore that unsettling feeling that something much bigger is going on. Or you can open your eyes to the pattern. You can see the convergence. You can start to wonder if what's happening across America is not a coincidence, but a synchronized message. These events, lining up so closely with prophecies written thousands of years ago, might not be here to scare you. They might be here as a wake-up call, a final warning. The prophecies in the Bible describe these exact events as birth pains. They are the signs of a world in transition, a world groaning under the weight of its own instability, signaling a massive shift to come. The earth itself is crying out, and its voice is getting louder every day. The real question you have to ask yourself is, what are you seeing with your own eyes? Do you feel it too? That sense that something is fundamentally wrong, that the very foundations are shaking. Don't ignore this feeling. Don't let anyone lull you back into a false sense of security. The time for pretending everything is normal is over. The signs are here, and they're becoming impossible to deny. It's time to prepare, not by building a bunker, but by opening your heart and mind to what's unfolding. If this message hit home for you, share this video. Send this warning to your friends, your family, to anyone who needs to see the bigger picture. In the comments below, tell us what you've seen. Have you noticed strange things happening in your community? Let's drag these signs out of the darkness and into the light. And make sure you subscribe so you can stay informed as these events continue to unfold. Stay vigilant, be aware, and be prepared. The final warning has been issued.
This book is your beginner's guide to understanding Scripture. Find peace, build relationships, and discover purpose in today's world. Ready to decode the Bible? Find Bible Decoded available on Amazon now.
If this content blesses you and you'd like to support our mission, you can buy me a coffee or give a super thanks. Every contribution helps us create more content to inspire and uplift others. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on my future videos.